All right, welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and we're going to talk about Fear the Walking Dead. I got so busy this week, I didn't have time to do much as far as like consume much entertainment. I was going to do a podcast talking about a number of different things, start getting into that and out of Fear the Walking Dead. But I ran out of time, so I figure I'll watch the episode and we'll just sit down and chat a bit about this episode. Boy, did I regret that. So we're going to talk about the episode Fear the Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 2, about how there's a child that's injured and it's up to June who's dealing with shit. And then you got, what's his name? Dwight from the Sanctuary. He's dealing with shit, the crossover character. And Sherry, she's there and she's dealing with shit. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. They just repeated the same fucking episode as earlier this season, almost to a T with the same characters, except they switched, what's his name? Flinch? Who gives a damn? Their little bastard kid, they switched him for this bastard Dove. Like anyone gives a damn about this character. Well, for one moment I started laughing because I swear there was a moment where they show the girl, June, she's all like traumatized. So she's like, I can't. The whole episode, she's annoying as shit. She's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Meanwhile, the kid is dying. The kid's like going into septic shock and June is all like, I just can't do it. Oh my God, was that annoying. So, meanwhile, June is letting her die because she just can't do it, guys. And then they all go and get separated. Now, keep in mind, in Season 8, Episode 2, they all kept leaving the kid who was like his appendix was burst. They all kept leaving him to deal with a bandit or, some villain, human villain. Same thing in this episode. They had like the human villain, the revenge in the sanctuary. And then they kept leaving him to deal with zombies. And then there's like this message. They're over the walkies. And they did the same episode tonight. The same fucking episode as they did in Season 8, Episode 2. They just copied it. Now, a better writer would have been like, it parallels each other, where blah, blah, blah. It's just garbage. It was vomit. I can't see anyone sitting down defending this like, oh yeah, we wanted to parallel it to the other episode. You just copied it and you made it worse because now June is annoying as shit, letting her die, saying, I can't do it. You got this really fucking punch you in the face. This is beyond a sledgehammer. This is like, spray painting subtlety on a nuclear weapon and sending that bitch, and acting like you fucking did anything worth mentioning at like a writer's table. That shit was goddamn embarrassing. It was cringe-tastic. So, but anyway, so everyone keeps leaving the kid that's injured. She's gut shot, and they're like, man, I'm gonna emote and get all emotional and be all a little bitch, and I'm gonna run away, even though the little girl's gut shot, like, she's getting septic, she's bleeding out, she's in excruciating pain. But then Dwight and Sherry are like, meh, 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 meh. And then they run off. And when we come back, June is like shocked that the girl's like, well, fuck these idiots. I'm just going to take a scalpel and dig the bullet out myself. I actually burst out laughing because I was thinking, okay, it's 2023, little fucking strong female character. She's just going to cut herself open with a scalpel and rip that bullet out like she don't give a damn, But luckily she passed out. But it was still laughable and dumb as shit. There was a number of moments in this that were just laughable and dumb as shit. The writing's terrible. The actors are really struggling to make something, like they're bringing what they can to the table, but the writing is so piss poor. It's just bad. It is awful. It's a repetitive mess. It wants to give this message that is so forced. I can just picture, it's like as if you have a 5-year-old child and you got this like soft square block of mozzarella and the child is just pounding the mozzarella, the square block, into a round hole, and he's just amazed that he can make it happen. Meanwhile, all it's doing is it's just ripping the block of mozzarella totally apart, and you're funneling it through a circle hole, so you're just tearing that shit up, And then they think like, wow, I did it. I put this square block of mozzarella through this round wooden hole and made an absolute mess. That's what the messaging in this episode did. And here's another thing that's getting really annoying with this style of writing. You have a zombie show, and it's great to incorporate, and I don't mean like the message, I mean like oftentimes writing can have a message for the characters or their life. God damn, what's up with his Freddy Krueger ear? Did it always look like that? Someone got bored in the makeup room and they were like, yeah, let's make him look extra ugly today. Shit, Halloween is right around the corner. Boop, we're gonna put a butthole on his head. The practical effects team were so annoyed with this show. They're like, I'm gonna put an anus right on Dwight's face. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna put that actually looks like a mutated pussy now that I'm thinking about it. It's the arrowhead scarred pussy. Anyhow, so his shit looks fucked up. Let's get that off the screen before I get flagged for inappropriate imagery. Anyway. So, yeah, look, it's just emotional. So the messaging here, and now you can pull what is supposed to be the messaging, but it really surface level in a superficial way. It just doesn't work at all, especially when you have your characters sit around at the end and they're like, yeah, well, maybe getting diarrhea during a firefight really meant that, shit does hit the fan, and sometimes you just got to sit and stew and then shoot back. Having your characters sit down and dissect the message of, maybe we needed to be here and we needed to change and holy shit. Did anyone else just look in awe and wonder at how absolutely cringe that is? It's like soap opera type of writing where the characters all sit down and they're like, yeah, I was an asshole, but maybe I needed to be because then it led me to this place where I can heal and forgive you. And they're all smiling at each other after. Barely anyone had any healing and this, that, and the third. And they're all like, yeah, you know what? You're family. I'm family. Get the fuck out of here. This bitch was like, you couldn't even save your own son. And then 5 minutes later, Dwight was like, yeah, you're family, yo. How? How? What experiences did you guys do? Except for one was bleeding out and the others were ducking from a firefight. And then you fought some zombies and okay. Anyway, so, and of course they have to bring as much flashbacks of Negan and Daryl. They sprinkle it. It's not crazy, but they bring the sanctuary there. And at one point I get it because you want to, you close out Dwight and Sherry's story, and why not close it out coming full circle in a way? If you can, it doesn't mean you should, but if you can come around full circle, they have the sanctuary, but it just falls apart in a comical fashion where things just start falling apart. In all honesty, I might have zoned out, but the building just comically falls on their enemies, and I just can't stop looking at the anus on the side of his face. Anyway, and then you get the end, and it hit me. We joked about it last week. Where's the pause button? Come on, don't do this to me. Where's the damn pause button? Yo, we joked about it last week, but I'm telling you, I believe it now. I believe it now. Alicia got knocked up by the racist, and Madison has now, or Strand has now kidnapped Madison's granddaughter. That's gonna be the turn. But then I thought, I don't mean to be, because I don't know, man. She comes off as kind of mixed. I don't know. This could be hard to tell. I could be, I could be stepping in choppy waters with this one. Okay, well, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. At first I was like, oh, wait a minute. Is that bubble wrap in her hair? Does she have bubble wrap helmet? Is that what this is? Is that bubble wrap? She's got a bubble wrap helmet. Get the fuck. What are we doing? So anyhow, here's Troy's daughter. The one element I did like, having Strand find Troy's daughter, and now they have leverage, and it's kind of dark. But then they do this really cringy, you're going to help me save Padre. because I'm a cunt, you know? And, but I do like the idea, the premise there, but who knows if they're going to do anything good with it, because later we see in this trailer, where is it at? They have, oh, that's probably like the after or whatever. Later we see in this trailer, they have yet again Troy face to face at like gunpoint with these fucking people. How many times are we going to go face to face with the enemy and it just loses all tension whatsoever? Come on now. Anyhow, so I'm going to start a poll in the chat. I totally forgot. Forgive me, chat. Forgive me. I'm going to pop out the chat and put a poll there. I'm going to see what you guys have to say about the episode. I thought it was a disaster. It's reckless. It's not even mid. Like, this isn't even mid. This is just shit. It's just downright shit. Not only is it painfully repetitive, but the character and character motivations, it all falls apart. It's not even good as basic like zombie content. I don't even know if we got like cool zombie shit in this. Is Strand in trouble? I don't know. Why would he be? I'm not sure what the question there is, you know? Is he in trouble? I mean, they're all in trouble, right? Are they not? Why would he be in trouble? Do you mean like he's grounded? He's going to be grounded? I'm not sure. Is he in trouble for stealing, you know, Troy, his kid? I mean, I would guess, but thoughts on episode. That's as much as you're getting. Likey or no? Likey or no? All right, that's it. So you're going to like the episode or not? I'm starting the poll. I'm going to go ahead and... I don't think I can vote. No, I can't. Oh, maybe I can. Yeah, I'm voting no. Because this episode sucked. Filler until... Yeah, here's another thing. It's the usual bottle episode. That was going to be my original thumbnail. Bottle this episode or something goofy. Oh, I'm going to crack my back. But yeah, it's, you know, it's a waste of time. This is the 4th to last episode ever. And I get that their mentality was, well, let's close out Dwight and Sherry's storyline and do a conclusion with their kid and this new girl, Dove. And I don't think it works at all. For me, it's basic. The messaging is so incredibly forced. It hits that cringe level. What else we got here? This is just gonna keep acting like a damn fool. Yeah, what's with these characters all? They're super badass with zombies, and then when they need to, they're on the ground all scared like a little bitch. Like, oh my god, it's a zombie. It's one singular zombie. He's on me. 5 minutes later, they're like having a chill conversation, just randomly stabbing 15 zombies in the head like it's nothing, you know? But then that one zombie just collapses. I'm getting real sick of seeing these characters just get tackled by that one zombie. And then they just fall flat on their back. Like there's no different way that they get tackled or they fall, or it's not awkward. They don't fall to the ground and like push them off. It's just always this. They fall back. The camera goes on top of them. It's like color by numbers. It's all done the same way. The repetition is unfucking bearable with this show. Fall on the ground, look scared, shake each other, and someone else will kill the zombie. Cut. What else we got?
This doesn't end well.
For you.
Dove just got gut shot. And in this commercial, she's all like, let's go, bitch. You know, she just took a slug to the gut and had reckless surgery. And you mean to tell me she's back at it? Like, she doesn't even have like this, shit, you know, I'm super injured, but I gotta aim my weapon. Maybe there's a 17th time skip. I don't know. Yeah, and again, face to face with the enemy. I don't even want to hear their thoughts about the episode. The episode was trash. You don't even deserve to have thoughts on the episode. That shit was embarrassing. All right, the Walker was pretty close to Strand. Oh, is that what you mean? Is he in trouble? I don't think anyone's in trouble in this episode. Who here thought at all Sherry was in trouble? She's on the ground. First off, there's a fence in between her and the zombies, and you're pretty safe. You know, they're not gnawing through. Now, could she get crushed? Hey, maybe. But are they going to kill her now when they're doing a clear conclusion to that part of their story? No. You know, I'm not afraid that Dwight is going to die. They're doing all this like, oh, he passes out. And then 2 minutes later, they're stitching the tiniest gunshot wound on his arm. It's a scratch. And this is why it's pathetic. Because one moment you're showing the character wounded and shot, and he's passing out. He's barely hanging on. And then you cut to a close-up of the smallest little scratch, and they're just doing a little bit of stitching there, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, Dwight, what was that overreaction? You were limping, you're crying, you're screaming, you're all like passing out and shit. It's a scratch. You got scratched, my man. What are you doing, you pussy? Anyhow, very repetitive waste of character stories. True. Did anyone else think the bad guy was Josh Whedon's twin? Could have been. 3 more episodes left, but why? I hope they connect with the actual show. At this point, I don't even care. Fear the Walking Dead is so bad. Stay the fuck away from the original show. That's all I gotta say. The Walking Dead can't make Clementine. They don't have the rights to Clementine. Any AMC doesn't own oh yeah. Let's see the Walking Dead Clementine. Play Clementine and get you suggest. Wait. Like to see the Walking Dead Clementine, which you can play Clementine, you suggest. I don't know how you mean that. What up, Harold? Meh. Big meh. Yeah. Kind of sick of Padre. Yeah, Padre is not the hill you want to die on. Not only that is we always have these setups where early Walking Dead, it's fine, you know, because it's new. But once you get past the prison, now it changes things because that was your home and it was destroyed. So now when you get to a location, this could be a home, but we have to be cautious. And then once they get over that hump, then it becomes, this is our perma home and we need to build it and make it a compound, and it's got to be now the show did that. The main show did that, and they didn't do it to the greatest extent. They showed some stuff, but it was very much like, here's our big compound, but we only show you the one little area that we can film by this entrance where, because again, AMC has shit budget, so they can only show you this one little fence where it's like, boop, boop. So they tried, but they just didn't have it. Now, when you do that in spin-offs, you already did the prison. You already did the downfall. You already did the new community. Cautious. Then you did the compound. There's all these like big element plot points. And once you get that, doing it, unless you do really good writing, and I mean, it's fire, it's solid. You can't just generically and basic bitch that shit out. You can't go, oh, here's, Padre, because Padre is terrible. No one gives a shit about Padre. It's very difficult once you go over those different, as far as like the perma home elements, once you work your way through them in the story, it's very difficult. That's why Commonwealth didn't work the way it did. It fell apart for multiple reasons. We're not as connected or invested in it. And then even more so with Padre. Padre is trash. Drop this Padre shit. One of the biggest problems with Padre is, why is the word iconography wanted to jump out of my head? But one of the biggest problems with Padre is the imagery, the visuals. You are barely ever anywhere near Padre when you hear Padre. 98% of the time, Padre's not even there as a location when they're talking about Padre. Can't do it. You have to have like the location needs to have presence. Visually, it needs to play a part in the story, and not just you mentioning Padre's going to make our lives better. We'll do this for Padre. Alicia and Padre. Alicia sucked, fucking what's his name's cock because he was a racist prick, but now she's pregnant with his baby. How funny. I so want Troy to be the one who knocked Alicia up so bad, because that is so stupid. I so desperately want Alicia to be the mother of the now kidnapped Troy's daughter. Come on, yo. Terrible writers, give us that. Please give us that. Imagine, just imagine how great that would be. Oh, man. Oh, please. I'm hoping for it. I am hoping for it. And doesn't it seem like they're setting it up? Like you have Madison stealing kids and shit, stupid as that is. But then you have her like doing this redemption arc against kids. And then Troy's all like, this person found me and gave me a second chance, which would be weird and impossible because we know it wasn't Alicia, or at least it would be really weird for Alicia to be able to, carry on and also be the one to find Troy. It would only work if she found Troy, but then immediately left Troy, but then found him again after her arm was bitten off, got knocked up, lived with Troy, had a kid for a couple years, and then she died. And, Troy is just saying he killed her, but he means it metaphorically. And then it would make sense. Keep in mind, now you have Madison, who's, this is her granddaughter. Alicia's gone. Think about it. Alicia's gone. So Alicia having a daughter would now bridge that connection. You don't need Alicia when you have the legacy character. So I am so hoping that Troy's kid is Alicia's daughter. That's great. Maybe the writers forgot he was a racist prick. You know what I mean? It's possible because it's different writers. These writers cannot construct a cohesive story arc to save their lives. Frustrating. All those years in the sanctuary falls apart when they show up. Yo, isn't that fucking glorious? The sanctuary stood strong for so long until these writers came in. And without even the modicum of self-awareness, they the sanctuary crumbled in the script that they wrote. Come on, man. That shit writes itself. That is genius in all the wrong way, in all the, for them in all the wrong ways. Best part of the episode is a brief glimpse of Negan and Daryl. That's sad. Played at 34:47, the axe teleports. I think I know what you mean. There's the edit. I rewound it because he holds it weird. And I noticed that he'll hold the axe low, and the next edit they show Sherry, and he's got the axe in the air and he's waving it around. They did really bad continuity between those takes, but yeah, the axe is teleporting, if that's what you mean. They might have done it a few different times. They've turned Joan, she has 7 names, into Baking and Meek Carroll. I wish Ronnie could write these shows instead and do it right. I don't even know at this point, It's so awful. I don't know if there's any redemption for it. Fear makes Dead City and Daryl look like masterpiece by comparison. Yeah, this show is awful. How does Sherry not get crushed by all those walkers on top? The walkers were off screen, Nick. Come on, man. They don't count it when they're off screen. There's nothing there. It's only there if we can see it clearly. Jonathan, what was the point of this episode? The point was supposed to be to conclude the soul section of Sherry and Dwight's story, but then bring them back into the main conflict by the end. That was supposed to be the point. They could have just did a 10-minute segment. Yeah, they could have. They really could have. They really should have. You're more entertaining than Fear. Well, thank you very much, Nova. They should have you narrating during the scenes. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. We need to replace Scott Gimple with Ronnie. I don't know about that. This stuff would be indefinitely better. I don't even know if I still think you need to pull back and go, small. You can't just, I don't think even taking fan advice, like even if they started listening, all right, what are fans frustrated with? Oh, being in the woods, the bad budget, the repetition. Okay, even starting there, you would have to take all that and spread it to all the different shows. But then you're butting heads with all the different all the different cogs in the wheels and blah, blah, blah. So I think it'd probably be best to say, okay, we want some sort of super successful element of The Walking Dead. Let's do its own thing, and then let's take actual fan feedback. The fans that left, well, what drove them away? Being in the woods and staring at nothing, having terrible locations, having terrible visuals for the zombie apocalypse, having really shit CGI, having terrible, everything has to be super philosophical and deep meaning. It's very poorly written, deep meaning and messaging. Sometimes it's cool to just have cool shit happen, in a zombie apocalypse. Sometimes it's just fucking awesome, and they totally blow that. They rarely ever go, you know what? We need to do something that's just fucking awesome. Forget messaging and sometimes when you do that, it naturally has that substance that you're looking for. Sometimes you just can't write the substance in there, I ain't watching this show, but I love watching Ronnie roasting the show. Thank you for sacrifice, Ronnie. You're welcome. Here's Negan. You're very welcome. They hyped up Padre to be cool and possible connections with the CRM, but it was just so lame. Not only was it lame, but it looked lame. And I think that's something that the show is like terrible at. This show is real shit at going, all right, we have limited resources, but we need to make this look cool. At the very least, Padre should have looked cool. Padre's a terrible name for a community. Terrible. And you could kind of see what they were going with. Padre's a man. Psych, it's a community, but it's just terrible. And Ronnie, it's getting into November now. How's the weather there in Carolina? The weather is getting a bit chilly, but it's, it's not freezing, but it's getting chilly. How the hell are the metal walls? I mean, the wind will make it feel cold as shit, I tell you that. Because I'm outside working in the weather from, 7 to 5:30. So how the hell are the metal walkers there? There was none when Negan went back. Did the writers not watch the main show? Well, I got the feeling that the new people supposedly continued the same thing that Negan did, even though there was no overlap between the old community and the new, so whatever. Sanctuary went down years after Negan, seriously. I know, right? If Negan knew, he'd shed tears reminiscing all the kills he did. Wait, is Alicia alive? No. I mean, I don't know, but she shouldn't be. I hope the writers behind this show never get hired ever again. This is embarrassing. You would think they wouldn't, but they will. And Sherry Dwight, slow-mo, lovers, spat while surrounded in courtyard, lame. Same argument we've seen 20 times. And that's another problem. This Dwight and Sherry shit, like, move on. We've gotten this. And just having them say, like, maybe we should totally stay separate this time. Like, for real this time. Let's separate and stay separate. I mean, for real this time. It's who's writing this going like, yes, the fans are totally going to be like, oh no, they're broken up for real this time. Like, come on. Like, how are you you know what it is? There's no time to give a fuck. They just got to get it and get it in the can. So what do? I don't know. They have a fight over what? Who cares? Oh yeah, their son died. That's an event. At least that's an event. Some fans were like, oh, that was cool, but at least they can do it. So it's the bare minimum. It's just the basic. It's basic bitch writing, Gimple's signature deep philosophical nonsense writing became unbearable. Yeah, that's one thing that Gimple came on the show in season 4, as far as like the lead. And some of that was actually had some weight. But then what I noticed is quickly by season 5, every conversation was like this wordy, philosophical. It was no longer like authentic how people talk. People don't talk like that all the time and for everything. And it just comes off as gobbledygook, So how horrible was it? It was bad. I would rather see Dwight return to the Sanctuary, reunite with some of the saviors he recruited them to help against Troy. Yeah, that'd be fine. We got regular bandits just out of the blue. Whoa, no way. I heard that Norman Reedus didn't want Angela Kang to write for his show. He said he wanted a fresh start with new writers. I know there was an article about new writers, but I don't remember the details, me personally. That Dove Girl or whatever her name is my god, man. She's so irrelevant. What purpose does she serve? Yeah, she's irrelevant as hell. Dawn was just a friend of Morgan's adopted daughter and nothing more, laugh out loud. Odessa, I mean. Oh yeah, that's right. She was just a friend of Morgan's daughter in the beginning. Yeah, that's it. That's all it was. Just a friend, you know? Let me change this to live chat. And we'll check on the straw poll. We won't sit around here long talking about. We'll end it here shortly. There's just not enough to talk about. Fear the Walking Dead. I know I am continuing to get things moving in a good direction. I'm very excited. I know that the most of it I'm not gonna get 100% done till after the holidays, after Christmas and all that. But I am working towards. We got the Flaw vs. All. We have the Doomsday Kingdom, my comic, which anyone could read, the digital doomsdaykingdom.com. We're getting back into all that now that I am, it's just taken months, but we're getting there. I just want to give everyone a heads up. It's slow going, but we're still getting there. And one thing I'm holding off on is uploading the content where for the Megapath Presents, just because once I start uploading, I didn't want there to be any drops. So any week now, it's going to slowly start up, and then you'll slowly see the one Flaw vs. All coming every, let's say, 2 a month ish, give or take. We're getting to the point where that's going to start rolling out. So heads up. But I know there's more stuff here I needed to do just to situate some stuff. Anyway, I'm not convinced that 26% of people actually like this episode is good. Come on. Well, keep in mind, I've been saying this for a while. The majority of people that are left, they aren't as picky or harsh because again, they're still here. The people that have left already are the ones that are a bit more critical, or they're not. This isn't like their taste, this current day Fear the Walking Dead is not what they're into. So those are leaving. So you will find the greater core that's left are somewhat interested in these characters, the storyline. So you will find more of an upswing. I think if you were to grab, if you were God and you just grabbed 1 million Walking Dead fans at random and you were like, what do you think of Fear? I think that's when you would see 80% like, fuck this, Again, you're pull, even on this channel where I'm negative on it. So that will attract people who are like, yeah, this is stupid. I want to hear, other opinions where it's like, not like, am I crazy? I want to hear someone that feels that this is dumb as well. So even being in that area, you're still going to get a core of it that are still interested in the show, which I noticed that happening a couple years ago, just because it was weird. There used to be 80% hated what was going on, and ratings plummeted for the show. Fans were leaving. I started getting comments like, I'm done with Fear. I'm not watching. I'll come back and check out Ronnie, but I'm not watching. Once I got bombarded with those comments, I noticed something really weird. The polls started going up. The more people that were leaving and not watching Fear anymore, the polling for how you like the episodes started going up. That's because the people that aren't into it are not voting anymore because they're gone. So 20, yeah, I could see 20, 30%. Again, you're going to have the people here, a core of them that are still rocking. They might not love it, Which season of Fear do you think is the best? I don't think Fear's all bad. I'm just going to say all bad. Here's the problem with it though. I think it's hard. I don't know why. Most fans go, season 3 is fucking amazing. I think you're absolutely crazy. You're fucking nuts, Season 3 was mid as fuck. There was a couple bangers, but my God, I see this praise for season 3 and it's like a bus hits me. It's like, do you guys forget how mid season 3 was? But that seems to be the pick for fans. But I think it's all trash, because even if you take season 1 or season 2, none of the characters become anything interesting. None of the story becomes anything interesting. The locations are okay at best. Nothing is there of substance to follow up. If you get an awesome episode at this point, Who cares? 57 other episodes behind it suck. You know what I'm saying? That's like watching a 2-hour movie and then 5 minutes are fucking amazing. And then you're like, yep, I'm a fan. I'm buying the movie. I'm buying it on Blu-ray. I'm buying it on VHS, even though it's not on VHS. I'm gonna, fuck the director's mother's, uncle's, cousin's, boyfriend's fucking dog. Just because there's 5 minutes out of a 2-hour movie, you don't sit there and go like, oh my God. Same way with I know we separate it, we compartmentalize it into, oh, that's a singular episode, but it's a whole story. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, even if there was like season 2 was good, it's no longer good because season 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, it sucks. And there's nothing there to connect it to. When season 2 ends, even if you love it, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just ends on a cliffhanger. And then when season 2 begins, it begins from a stupid place because season 1 ended. And those are examples from the different seasons. Even the most hardcore of the Walking Dead fanboy channels call Fear the Walking Dead weak or mid. Heck, with this show being on Rick and Michonne. What the fuck, you drunk bastard? I've seen some of them attack one guy who constantly shits on the franchise because it's garbage now. I only watch Fear the Walking Dead since I'm a Walking Dead fanatic and over a decade. Around 25% of people get polled and get every question wrong, and that's kind of funny. There's a part of me that always wants to see where Fear ends, just because it's the investment, But I honestly don't think I have to watch these episodes anymore. I only watched it so we can sit down now and chat, and if you got any questions, send them in because I'm ending in 5 minutes. I really don't think there's I just don't think there's enough here to talk about Fear the Walking Dead. I want to get more going so next Sunday we can talk about more than Fear the Walking Dead. I still haven't watched Gen V. Matter of fact, I have work to do in my home office. The moment I get off here, I'm going to watch some Gen V. And that's a lie. I'll probably play like 20 minutes of, no, I don't think, I'll play it tomorrow of, Alan Wake 2. But I'll probably watch Gen V to get it started and get some work done in the office. And then tomorrow I'll play a little Alan Wake 2. I played some more of Alan Wake 2. And I got to say, listen, I think I'm mixed. I thought, for the first 3 hours, I really thought I would be highly positive, but I gotta say, I'm, 10 hours in now, and I'm definitely mixed. I'm at the point where unless something big happens, the new character is trash. The new character is straight just, we can't have like a white guy in the lead anymore. There's no way that new character is anything but a checkbox. There's no way. The interesting thing about the character is like her child might have drowned. Her character is bland as fuck. And I so wanted to like the character. I like playing as the character because of the combat mechanics. I really enjoy. I prefer playing as her more than Alan Wake. But the character and her involvement in the story is fucking pointless. Just outright fucking pointless, Even when you're playing as Alan Wake, it's mostly like Alan Wake and Max Payne. It's like them two. She is so fucking irrelevant. I forget she's even intertwined in the stories until certain moments intersect. Rarely. And then you got some of the combat really clunky. I don't know. Did you know they reused old scenes from old episodes? Yeah, I showed that off. Thank you very much for the super chat. I showed that off the last stream I did. Gen V is awesome. I'm checking out Gen V tomorrow. Best way to end Fear is to kill Madison. Kill them all. Bring on Rick and Michonne, not Bing. My phone sucks. I thought you were just drunk. Dialogue so bad I watch it muted while watching Judas Priest videos. Ouch. Do you think you would still appreciate the first 5 seasons of the original show as much if they released nowadays? Or would you be more critical? No, I think the first 5 seasons I would love it. And again, I don't like these questions because I don't think these questions are fair or even logical. I'm going to be straight up with you because the time that Walking Dead released was different. Now, I've talked about this topic to death, so I'm not going to do it again, but you're cheating your question in a way that just doesn't fit reality. Walking Dead, if in order for your question to be real, no zombie stuff would have to come out between then and now. And then now, finally, we get good zombie stuff, because that's what Walking Dead meant originally. We weren't getting, you were not sitting down crying because you were attached to characters pre-Walking Dead. Rarely ever. That's just not what zombie content was. It's what a lot of us wanted it to be. We wanted substance, and we wanted like real characters we cared about. So to say like, oh, if it came out now, how would you? But that doesn't count though, because what would the genre be? Where would its platform be in the cultural relevance of the times? It would be different. But why? Well, because The Walking Dead is what made it different. So, see what I mean? Like, I don't mean to pick on the question. I just think that the question, it's just to do these hypothetical ones, it just doesn't work, because it's not as simple as The Walking Dead out now versus then. Because the zombie genre was completely different. It was bleeding out and dying when The Walking Dead came out. I mean, it was damn near dead and being resurrected when it came out. So, I don't know. I would have to say that it would be the same. We loved it when it first came out. If it came out now, we would love it, Best way to end Fear is kill Madison. Yeah, already. All right, let me go. They are recycling. They're recycling a lot. Not interested in Gen V and the boys. The last thing Hollywood needs is more cape nonsense. Martin Scorsese is completely right about it all. Harold, Gen V, and the boys are actually good. Yeah, I'm down for it some more. See, the thing with the superhero though is you get like Marvel and DC is not my cup of tea. I like, and I know it's overused saying like dark and gritty. Everyone's like, oh, why is everything got to be gritty? But that's not what I mean. I mean, I like watching stuff where some serious damage can occur. Like, I like knowing that like Spider-Man can have his arm snapped in half against a real villain, an actual enemy. Like, serious damage could happen. You're not going to kill Spider-Man in the first movie, 15 minutes into the movie. We all know that. But I like knowing there are serious stakes, and I like it being grounded. That one element is the only element that's fake, but the rest should be as grounded as possible. That's what I enjoy. So I don't need Marvel to change, but I would like if someone else did superhero stuff to where it fit my tastes instead. Now, unfortunately, the boys, I like the grittiness and the gore, but it's too comical for my taste. I like it, don't get me wrong, but my perfect preference would be the boys, but cut out 80% of the comedy, make it gritty, make it grounded, but keep the gore. You know what I'm saying? Like, take some grit from like DC Batman and the Batman, and take some of the grounded seriousness but levity from Infinity War, Endgame, some of that shit, but then add in some Terrifier 2, slap in some boys, just a touch, a sprinkle, put this in a blender, and then now you're cooking, in my opinion. Anyhow, Ronnie, have you played RoboCop? So fun? No, I haven't played it. I'll be honest, man. The trailer looked fucking awful. I heard a couple good things about it, which made me kind of like side-eye. Because for one, it's first person, which it should be third person. It's so retarded to say like, here's RoboCop, but you can't see him. But I also get why you'd want to do first person, but I wish that was like some select missions in the game where you could do like point of view of RoboCop. My whole thing is like, it's the character. It should be in third person, but to make it even greater, it just looks like they took a cheap and shitty first-person shooter and they overlaid RoboCop stuff on it. Now, I could be totally wrong because I've heard a number of people say it's fun. I'm not paying full price, though. When it goes on clearance, I'm definitely giving it a try, but I am very skeptical going in. But I do like the sound of people saying it's fun, because that might you know, it might be a real cool first person to just throw on and have at it. June asks if they know a place where they could take the girl. Neither of them think of a second about any of the communities. Piss me off. Oh, I know. Oh, come on now. You know, like, where are we going to go? You know, as soon as I saw Dwight was back at Sherry and Dwight's house, my eyes rolled so far in my head, they snapped my own neck. It's crazy. Shit is crazy. They just released a trailer for Marvel's Echo, a street-level show that is TVMA. Still looks terrible, though. I have no interest in Marvel shows, and I'm not paying a cent for Disney Plus, so I have no interest in those. Me and my friend, and Marvel will never do anything that I'm talking about. They'll never do it. Not unless they're bleeding money so bad, and then they go like, oh my God, Deadpool made so much money, let's do something gritty. It'll probably take another 10 years before they do something that's like dark, but until then, I don't want like, oh, it's a little bit dark. No, I want it fucking Terrifier dark, or else don't even come at me. Me and my friend talked about how Hollywood seems to be scared to kill off major characters now. There's no stakes, unlike Game of Thrones. I mean, you're always going to get those rotations, especially when we're talking about spin-offs. You can't kill characters if you're trying to grow spin-offs, so it is what it is, I guess. We're going to have any new game streams to come in the near future. I enjoyed your Resident Evil stream. I'm not sure. I gotta be honest. The game streams don't do anything. I mean, like 10 people show up. I do them because I love them and I'm already playing the game. So if I'm playing the game, I might as well stream. The only reason I didn't stream the other night is because it was real late. And when I stream at like 8 at night, 10 people show up. So imagine streaming at like 1 in the morning, you know, 2 people will show up, which that's not bad. I'm not a huge content creator. It's not like I need 800 people showing up. It's just, I just don't think the game streams are something where right now I need to be investing much at all time into it. It doesn't grow, you know. Game streams are great for if you're growing something else, you know what I mean? Let's say I don't know, doing ASMR with cats licking the microphone. Who fucking knows? Or whatever it is. And then I get a huge spike in new people jumping on. And then I'm like, on Thursday, I'm going to play this game. You guys want to hang out? That's great. But we've tried it for years now, and it doesn't grow. It's not growing, you know? And it could be me. I'm probably just not like the gamer material, you know? I'm not big on screaming, and I don't mind like goofing off, acting like a clown a bit, but I'm not going to sit here and scream for 2 hours straight. Those are some of the gaming channels that like blow the fuck up, but I'm not doing that. At least not yet anyhow. So, but I gotta be honest, I don't know about the gaming stuff having much of a future. Just when there's something new and I'm excited and I want to throw it on and I think, all right, it's early enough. Let me slap on a stream and then get a couple people to hang out. Especially new games. If you look at all, and this is all gaming channels, the very first time you play a new game, that's when people show up. The second time it drops, the third time and past, it fucking plummets, you know? And I get it because people are interested in your thoughts on the game. They don't need your thoughts on every single hour of the game. So within the first 2 or 3 streams, you know roundabout how the people are going to feel. There's a couple of them that changed, like Callisto Protocol. I was negative, but then I kind of changed positive. Alan Wake, I was a bit on the fence because it was really slow. But then I started really liking some of it. But now I'm mixed because there's so much cool shit that could have been in there. Like the action, they could have added some more conflict, you know, and really made it more interesting. And also the characters, like the FBI agent. I like playing as her. Gameplay is great, but my God, so far is she a pointless fucking character? 0 point. Do you think Fortnite streams and games where viewers get involved help viewership? No. It can for channels that are set up for that, but I'm not going to jump on and play Fortnite tomorrow and it's going to help viewership. The type of viewers that would jump on from that, 98% of them aren't the viewers that I am looking for to grow, you know, a community. And again, my priority is to flaw versus all, you know, and I just don't think people playing, for the majority, people playing Fortnite are not the Flubbersaw community. That's just not it, you know? There's got to be some type of overlap. But yeah, Fortnite's just not going to happen. I watched my daughter play the new old map, and it's cool seeing the old map, but now they have bots in the game, and that's really dumb. Like, you just can't win. You either have tryhards that are fucking building skyscrapers, or you got bots that just like stand there and like spin around in circles, and it just feels so cheap, you know? So I just don't think I'm going to have anything to do with Fortnite ever again. It's just not what it used to be. Will you play Texas Chainsaw Massacre game? Probably not. I'm not really into those cash grab games. There's not even a single player mission, right? And I've never liked multiplayer. I mean, I did like them in the past, but I just think they've just became so generic and cheap feeling. It's hard to really get enjoyment out of them. Can't believe I just watched. They can't seriously think we're dumb enough to believe that a bunch of walkers could bring down a building the size of a sanctuary or just walk right through. Bro, I thought that it was booby trapped or something. They didn't show it, but I swear, I was like, they have to have booby traps. I mean, they have to. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no fucking way walkers pound on the door and a building splits in half. Like, there's got to be something I'm missing, you know? I don't know. I heard a second season for Last of Us might get split into 2 seasons. Yeah, they said that a while back. Do you think they'd be dumb enough to give Ellie 1 season and Abby the 3rd? No, I don't think it's possible to do that. There could be a perspective switch. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, we start with Ellie. There's a heavy focus on Ellie. And then we shift in season 3. We show a little bit of Abby, and we start introducing Abby. And then by the end of the season, Abby's like an official character, like a series regular. So then when season 3 comes on, fucking allergies today. Then you get that heavy focus on Abby. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's as simple as saying, oh, Ellie's all in 2 and Abby's all in 3. I think that perspective thing could cater one over the other. But again, it might sound the same, but very different because you're still having them in blended storytelling. But it would, instead of showing like, in 8 hours, there's, you know what I mean? Like 2 hours of Abby. In 8 hours in the next season, there's like 4 or 5 hours of Abby. Or blah, blah, blah. I don't know who Sean Clark is. I'm just 2%, then I play Fortnite and watch your flaw and all. Yeah, you're definitely in the 2% if that's the case. And you're always going to get that type of percentage crossover, but it's definitely not the higher percentage, you know? It's definitely not. And I already know that from doing past Fortnite content. Hilarious how back in season 8 Sanctuary got hit with a massive herd 10 times the size of Baby One. I guess their thought process is, oh, if it's old, it just falls apart. Like, we don't have super old abandoned buildings for decades upon decades that, yes, they're dilapidated, sometimes dangerous, but they're just not crumbling apart at the faintest whisper of a fucking herd fart, I don't think I'm gonna watch Last of Us season 2 just because Abby and the story part 2 is trash. I can't wait. I cannot wait. In my opinion, like, I'm rooting for something different and exciting, but it's a lose-lose. Like, I mean, they're boxed into a corner. Keep in mind, you either keep Pedro Pascal alive and you admit you were wrong for the video game, which there's no way. Their ego is so big, or Neil Druckmann's ego is so big. There's no fucking way he's going to do that. But he just might get pressured into doing it. You either admit you were wrong with the game and you correct it for the show, or you kill them off and piss off a bunch of fans who are mostly there for Pedro Pascal, you know? I mean, it's gonna be great. The only way they could get around it, though, is to try to do what they did in the game, which failed, but kill him off, but have flashbacks with him in it. I mean, that could be the only way where it's like, okay, we killed him off, but he's still in the show. Then I can see fans, because the masses aren't that bright, you know? Then I can see the masses being like, oh, boo-hoo, you killed him off. Oh, he's still in it 5 minutes here and there. So, yeah, it's all right, But we'll see. We shall see. I wonder how weak they'll make the male lead versus Abby. I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out. But, all right, 2-minute timer, and then I'm going to get going. We hit an hour anyway. I looked at the clock at 30 minutes. I was going to shut down, but they said Last of Us 2 will cover across multiple seasons. That's probably how they plan on keeping Pedro around. Just drag the story out for as long as they can. Yeah, but, people are saying that, and that they can't do that, Harold. They can't. I know if you don't think about it, you might be like, oh, yeah, it's 2 seasons. They're dragging it out. They can't. Killing Pedro is the only thing that starts the story for season 2. How are you going to drag it out if the story doesn't start until he's dead? Sure, you can set it up, a few episodes at most. I mean, maybe you can really set it up if you do some weird time skip, like let's say they decide to really cheat. And this would probably be the saving grace cheat, is to flash forward and show Ellie hunting down people. And show a few flashbacks of Joel. But then almost at the end of season 2, then show Joel getting killed. You know what I'm saying? That could be the only cheat that they can do where the story goes forward without showing why it goes forward. Again, you have to have that as the catalyst. Nothing else makes the story go forward unless you cheat it. And they could cheat it. That would be grimy because fans would eat that up. You know what I mean? Because then you can have, he wouldn't be in it as much, but you're baiting them with him being in it. Oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the mystery. Fans are always, why is she so mad? Oh, is it Joel? No, we just saw Joel teaching her how to do this and that. Oh, I get it. It's, different times, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, you just can't drag it out. Again, unless they're changing it, but then they admit the game was wrong. I wasn't too much in the first season. Last of Us was kind of a starfish. Last of Us sucked, man. It was fucking trash. I mean, it looked beautiful, and they have the main emotional beats, but most of the other stuff is chopped out of it. And without that holding it up, man, does it just not have that weight anymore. They're going to cast someone hot for Abby. No, they already casted Abby. You can go look at it right now. No way would they put a roided up female after a blowback they got for Last of Us Part 2. Curious to see how TV fans handle Joel death. They'll probably praise it for being such a big swing and well written. Well, the media is they're already deep throating, so. Yeah, it's Last of Us Part 2 is such a shame, man. It's a shame. Man, imagine we got, I said it way too much, but we got new gaming characters that were just new icons, in the gaming landscape as far as characters are concerned. And they just threw it away. They just fucking threw it away. I'm gonna go though, because an hour, I like hanging out with you guys. An hour, that's cool, but not over Fear the Walking Dead. That's just too long. I'm gonna roll. I'll see you guys. Have a good night. Be safe. And stop watching Fear the Walking Dead. It's fucking terrible. We'll come back tomorrow or next Sunday, talk about a few different things. Hopefully Gen V. Maybe Gen V, Terrifier 3. We'll talk about a few things. Get some rest.